It's now time to get our special guest to come and join us. We've managed to get him out of the kitchen for a moment, which is fantastic. He's the boy from Wollongong, but he's also one of the greatest MMA fighters we have ever seen and produced here in Australia. Can you please put your hands together as we welcome Alex, the great Volkanovski. Oh, I'm loving this. You've got microphone number one here, because you are the number one. This is fantastic. You've come from the boy from Wollongong. You've never forgotten where you've come from, and yet you've come so far and done so much. Just talk us through your little journey, because this has been unbelievable. By the way, you look fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. I even had a whole get up, and then I was in the kitchen. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm a man of many, wear many hats, right? So being a chef is one. I'm not that good at it, but now I can look professional. So I thought I might as well chuck that on stage. But now, obviously the career's been incredible. Still not done yet. Been really enjoying the process, as you said, just from a small town to accomplish what I have. I'm very proud of. But one thing I'm probably most proud of when it comes to all that is that I was able to be myself throughout that whole process, and I'll continue to do that through the rest of it too. And
that's what's endeared you to not just the Australian public, but the world public. Everyone watching on, they know who you are, they love who you are, because that is exactly who you are. Even when you're in the, I saw you with a very, very sharp knife, and everyone was getting a bit nervous. You just kept smiling, just kept cruising along. Cooking with Volk, it's coming.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, cooking with Volk is a thing. That's why I thought, you know what, this does work. So I don't need to chuck on another 30 gear. But no, very good. I love Crown as well. So I just come back from Thailand, and I was told, oh, we're going to try and get down to my missus. I was like, I've got to get this through the boss, right? And she's like, going on Crown. She absolutely loves Crown. So she's like, yeah, go over there. Yeah, it's good. Obviously, he's got the partnership, good relationship. Now we can obviously spend more time while we're over there, because she absolutely loves it. So I got the okay to come down here and be in front of you all, so it was good.
Well, you've got the 4 girls at home, the wife and 3 daughters, which is unbelievable. You've got a lot of energy for someone who's got 3 daughters as well. But now you've got the Crown kit on, this cooking kit. I can see this happening in the kitchen at home.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, that's. I think this is mine, right? I get to take this home.
Look at the name.
Yeah. So it's got the UFC Volkanovski Crown. So yeah, this might be from what I wear in my Cooking with Volko skits from now on.
I like it a lot. You've just mentioned that you've come from Thailand overnight. What have you been doing the last couple of weeks? I did see on your YouTube channel you had a couple of little challenges put forward, and you want to have a little dance in the future. Just talk us what you've been doing over the last couple of weeks, and when we can see you back in the octagon.
Yeah, nothing booked at the moment. I went over to Thailand to start getting that training in. Obviously, I'm always training all year round, but wanted to go there and start to step things up. And maybe it's come at a good time. You're hearing all these whispers. What's going on with a lot of this talk with Conor McGregor and whatnot. I'm like, maybe I went to Thailand and had a good time. Maybe they need a late notice replacement again. And, I mean, so I'm always keen to throw my hand up. So you heard it here first. Maybe if something happens, I'm ready.
Yeah, heard it here first, and young Ash is over there shaking his head vehemently, saying this is
Ash is probably over there, what are you talking about? I just care because you're having a bit of fun.
Well, you're a prominent UFC athlete. We love seeing you. We love that you wave the Australian flag, Macedonian and Greek heritage flag as well. It's where Alex the Great comes from. But where UFC's come from in Australia for the last 3, 4, 5 years, we heard Kieran talk about it as well. These events, holding them in our backyard, it is the prominence in which it holds now is fantastic.
It is. It's grown so much. The sport itself has grown so much, and everyone's doing a great job here in Australia as well. But I remember I absolutely loved the sport, and I was telling people I wanted to, stop what I was doing when I was playing rugby league and concreting, and I wanted to take this full time, take it seriously. What do you talk about? What is this thing? But that's sort of where it was, and now it's obviously talked about. It's global and. It's massive, we're breaking a lot of records every single time we touch new arenas and stadiums, so obviously it's saying something, but the sport's been incredible, and I'm glad the UFC and the Crown were able to do a deal as well, so I think that's going to be very good in the future.
Because it is about the fans. We know it's a sport, we know how hard you work, but it's about the fans, not just the sport, but the entertainment. It's show business in sport, and that's what you bring to the table, is what all the athletes bring to the table.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Of course we've got to go out there and do things, but it is a show business. That's why I'm wearing a chef suit at the moment, what I mean? So,
I smelled the steak. We're all getting hungry smelling what we're cooking.
Yeah, no, they've done a great job, so I think we are going to do some cooking maybe for you. But it is a show business, but at the same time it is a sport. It's something I take very serious. But yeah, at the same time, you need to get the bums on seats, and people like to see us throw hands and do our things, and lucky some of us are good at it.
Very, very good at it. Now, UFC 305 is coming back to Perth. Last time you were in Perth, one of the best fights. I mean, you should have won, I'm allowed to say that because we're amongst friends. But it brings back, no doubt, good memories, but also, you know, there's the challenges there as well because you're only as good as your last fight, you're only as good as the next fight. How are you feeling? How good is it to have UFC back on our home soil in August in Perth?
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. That was, what atmosphere that was. Absolutely loved it. Obviously I was in there doing my thing, but to hear the crowd and the support, and everyone that came from, you know, New South Wales and Sydney, that flew over there, and as I said, they were from the numbers before, so it was incredible. The atmosphere is something that I've probably never seen before, especially for a reasonably small arena, you could say. We literally blew the roof off the place. It was incredible, and I was honoured and very proud to be a part of that. And many more events like that to come. We've got some great athletes here in Australia doing big things with partnerships and whatever it is, like, you know, the talent that's coming up as well. So I'm sure many years to come with a lot of exciting events and fights for you guys.
You always talk about how you don't forget where you come from, which is fantastic. Concreter and a rugby league, semi-professional rugby league player. Well, there's a bit of rugby league going on tonight as well. We probably should touch on it. Have you got a tip for us? Is your heart still bleeding blue and making sure?
Yeah, that's it, mate. You've got to go to Blues, you know what I mean? So always bleeding blue. Looking forward to that. That'll be a great game to watch. Who do you think's got it?
Well, my sister lives in Queensland, so...
here we go. I'll answer it. Yeah, Blues are going to win it.
I'm also not going to be fighting with you anytime soon. Don't worry about that. I've seen you with a knife in hand and without. But you've done some work with other sports as well. You've gone in both with AFL, with league, and with rugby too. Just you get involved with other sports. How important is that for you to make sure that you're always involved and they get you in as well, not just as a great athlete, but also with technique and so forth?
Yeah, well, you know, you touch on the New South Wales versus Queensland, and you know, I'm going to back New South Wales, the Blues. But I'm a big fan of all Australian sports. I always try and back every athlete I can. I think it's great for Australia. I think it's great for sport in general. So I'm always backing and doing whatever I can just to support athletes, whether they're young or whatever they're going through in their career, and just be there in support and watch. Because whenever I do get a connection, like if I do chat with some of the guys, I get locked in. I'm like committed. That's it. I'm locked in. I'm connected to that team forever, and it makes me enjoy sport even more. So I'm glad I get around and you know, chat to the guys and support these great athletes we have here in Australia.
Now you mentioned that your wife, you got across the line because you know Crown Resorts are fantastic. It's a little bit different here at Crown Melbourne than it would be with your cooking and camping and fishing. It's a little bit of a different dynamic, I would have thought. This is a bit more comfortable perhaps than some of the trips you've gone on.
Oh yeah, well I do a bit of all. I do like my camping and fishing and whatnot, but I don't mind a nice place to lay in bed and enjoy some TV and the good views. My wife loves it, so it's always good. So we do I do a bit of it all, you know what I mean? So like I said, many hats, outdoors. I don't mind being indoors too.
Don't mind being looked after by a five-star resort. It helps a little bit.
Helps a lot. Really
we are here with some wonderful members of the media as well. If anyone's got a question, Power's great whilst we're here. Now's the time to have a chat because he's here in front of us, and we don't get this opportunity very often.
Do you know when we can expect the next UFC event in Melbourne?
In Melbourne? I couldn't tell you. Nothing's locked in. Hey, Peter, you want to help me with this? Have you got something locked in? But as I've always said, I do love it here in Melbourne as well. I think it is a sporting capital of Australia. I think my debut was here. I absolutely love it here, so I'm hoping they bring it here again. So, hope so. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you anything.
Alexander, the stats before that more than 60% of fans travel to see UFC. Why do you think it is so popular from a tourism perspective as well?
Well, you know, it's not here every week. So if the UFC is going to be here, people want to turn up and want to get there. So it's especially with the fighters we have this side of the world. You know, if there's going to be an event in Australia, you're going to have guys like your, you know, Robert Whittaker's or your Israel Adesanya's or myself, or the list goes on. So many great UFC athletes, you know, from this part of the world, and you know, people want to go out there and support them. So the support's always been incredible, and like I said, it's not like the UFC is here every month. So when they do get here, people will travel to be there.
Do you have any thoughts on, like, in terms of your weight class? Are you still prepared to switch between the two?
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be making featherweight next week, that's for sure. But yeah, no, definitely still committed. I love this sport. I love everything about it. So just got to lock in the date. So I told myself that later in the year. and then I did a bit of training in Thailand, and then all of a sudden I'm like talking to my manager going, oh, when are we going to lock something in, you know, got to be, you know, so obviously the fire's still there, but whatever's next, so if it was a lightweight or a featherweight, but I know my next featherweight fight will be for the title 100%, but yeah, we'll just see what happens.
But my mate said this, he said, you have nothing to fight for necessarily, you've done that, you've been there, you've done that, what's the motivation, what's the fire that keeps it going, that keeps you burning?
I mean, I love the sport. You know, I'm still so passionate about it. Every time I am in the gym, I can't stop talking about it. That's why I probably was meant to be a little bit earlier, but I was in there just rambling the whole time because I love to talk. But I love breaking down techniques. I'm still just as passionate as I was when I was, you know, trying to grow myself and evolve. It's just, it's always going to be there. And obviously, you know, you can't complain with money in that as well. That's always good too. So I'm in a great position. I'm thankful enough to be where I am. But yeah, I do love this sport, and yeah, all I can say is I'm going to be back in there because I love the sport. That's all I'd say. Yeah.
It feels like since your fight in Perth, the support for you, homegrown, has exploded heaps. You're now kind of viewed as the ambassador for the sport in this region. What does that mean for you to kind of be the face of the sport in Australia and New Zealand?
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it means a lot. You know, I think there's a lot of great athletes here. So if that's how it is right now, or if I am going to be the face, there's going to be many more faces coming through because we have got so many good athletes in Australia. But I'm still planning to be the face because I know my work's not done. So if that's what you're saying, you know, I'm not one to talk myself up, but if that's where it's at, it's probably going to stay because, you know, I've still got some work to do, and I plan on getting my belt back and many big fights and winning those as well. So I guess if that's where we're at, it's going to be there to stay for a little bit longer. But like I said, even when I am gone, I know that there's going to be so much talent coming through. Even when I just go and watch the local scene, the amateur scene and everything, the talent we have here in Australia, because the sport's growing so much, it's quite incredible. So big future for the UFC fans and sport here in Australia.
Obviously, August in Perth's out of the question, but are we confident you'll be back in there this calendar year, potentially November, Madison Square Garden might be attractive to you?
They're good dates that you're throwing around. You know what I mean? So that's what that's what I said. I told myself, you know, I don't think I want to be in. I'll put in my head, all right, October, after October, around that time. So the end of the year, November does sound great, but nothing's locked in. But we'll see. Yeah, so definitely keen to get back in there. You know, I told myself I'll wait. It's been great. Been absolutely loving the time off, even though I'm still in the gym. But yeah, definitely got that fire back to get that belt back.
Has that been something that's come on? I mean, you've been the hunter, I suppose. Like you're not titled for 4 years, and you know now you want the title back. Is that sort of reignited? I guess
Look, I've always had the drive, you know, to be better and you know, chase whatever it is. Even when I was chasing the belt, and even when I had the belt, you know, I've found even after I got the title, I made massive improvements. And a lot of people are like, how are you getting better? It was just that drive to be better. You know, turn up in the gym and being passionate and committed. So that's still there. But it's just I don't know. The break that I had was great. It was good for. I always want to evolve. Every time after a fight, I want to evolve, whether it's skill and whatnot. I chose to have a bit of a break, and I was able to evolve even as a human being, you could say, as myself, and that was great. You know, absolutely loved that time off. But right now, it's back to that, you know, fighter's identity. Get me back in there and doing my thing because I still got it. Training has been great. Still feeling strong. Still feeling fast, fit. So I want to showcase them skills and show everyone that I'll be back and I'll be champion again.
so the rematch is your priority, or like Dusty? Let's talk about you and Dusty getting.
Yeah, so I've put the feelers out for. It just depends with the timing. So I said that I wanted to fight later in the year, and who knows what plans are if for some reason the timing doesn't work with featherweight till later on, even later. It's like I didn't want to wait that long. You know what I mean? So it's you never know. Whether I do something before then. We'll see, but my next featherweight fight is for the title, 100%.
Great stuff, Volk. Thank you so much to our wonderful media for coming along. Now, you're going to go back into the kitchen now, because we've got Chef Blake, who's one of our best here at Crown Melbourne. You're going to go jump in there and cook your signature twist on steak frites, which I look forward to. I'll grab that off you. Big round of applause, please. Great to have you here. Volk, thank you so much, mate.